We are hearing SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM. Last time we heard Brahma first created the nescient engagements like self-deception, the sense of death, anger after frustration, the sense of false ownership, and the illusory bodily conception or forgetfulness of one's real identity. All conditioned souls, they are under the influence of this. But if they will surrender to Krishna, they can be free from all these 5 types of ignorances. Drishtva papiyasim srishtim natmanam bahu amanyata bhagavadhyana putena manasanyam tato srijat. Seeing such a misleading creation as a sinful task, Brahma did not feel much pleasure in his activity, and therefore he purified himself by meditation on the personality of Godhead. Then he began another term of creation. This also we heard. Here Sai Maharaj is very clearly explaining, although he created the different influences of nescience, Lord Brahma was not satisfied in performing such a thankless task, but he had to do it because most of the conditioned souls wanted it to be so. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 15:15 that he is present in everyone's heart and is helping everyone to either remember or forget. The question may be raised why the Lord, who is all merciful, helps one to remember and another to forget. Actually, his mercy is not exhibited in partiality towards one and enmity towards another. The living entity, as part and parcel of the Lord, is partially independent because he partially possesses all the qualities of the Lord. Anyone who has some independence may sometimes misuse it due to ignorance. This is the cause, not Krishna is not responsible. He is telling also in 5th chapter, I am not responsible for this. Jivas, they misuse the relative independence, then Krishna is only giving the fruit. When the living entity prefers to misuse his independence and glide down towards nescience, the all-merciful Lord first of all tries to protect him from the trap. But when the living entity persists in gliding down to hell, the Lord helps him to forget his real position. I told some time back, like a parent, he tries to tell to children, ignorant children, this is not good, that this is good, that is not good. But still some children will misuse. So unless such jivas exist and such material world exists like this, then Supreme Lord cannot have such pastime of having parental affection. This type of goodness would not be in him. So this Mike Lila facilitates this Lila of Supreme Lord, and also such types of jivas. There are many types of living entities, so these jivas are marginal potency of Supreme Lord. They are ignorant and they can misuse relative independence, but those who are of Swarup Shakti, internal potency of Krishna, like Radharani and others, cowherd boys, and in Ayodhya, Hanuman, like this, they never misuse their relative independence. They don't have relative independence as these Tatashta Jivas. They have full independence, but they never misuse because they have full knowledge. They have spontaneous devotion. The Lord helps the falling living entity glide down to the lowest point just to give him the chance to see if he is happy by misusing his independence. He did not want, we wanted, so he has to fulfill out of weakness, parental weakness. But this is, our Gurudev told, even this sense gratification in this world, we can only get by his mercy. Otherwise it is not possible. No one is independent. And okay, you see what is there, you get your own experience. Our Gurudev many times explained this. We wanted to enjoy, so Krishna had to create all these species and everything. But after passing through 8 million species of life and having enjoyment, this eating, sleeping, mating, defending in all possible ways and in all possible quantities, all this, then we get human birth, which is different from all others. It has discriminating power, what is good, what is bad, what is eternal, non-eternal. So Krishna is then asking us, now you think, you want to come to me or you want to go through this again? So those who are wise will accept this opportunity in human birth to rescue themselves from material existence and enter into real life of devotion to Krishna. Almost all the conditioned souls who are rotting in the material world are misusing their independence, and therefore 5 kinds of nescience are imposed upon them. As an obedient servitor of the Lord, Brahma creates all this as a matter of necessity, but he is not happy in doing so, because a devotee of the Lord naturally does not like to see anyone falling down from his real position. Persons do not care for the path of realization. No. Persons who do not care for the path of realization get full facilities from the Lord for executing their proclivities to the full extent, and Brahma helps in that procedure without fail. Like you can sleep very long time as a bear. You can have many children as fish. You can eat meat as tiger. And you can have great fear as a rabbit. And you can fight as lion. All this you can get to fullest extent. But we can never be fulfilled. So human life is not meant only for these 4 things: eating, sleeping, mating, defending. This is common with animals and other species, but human being can worship Supreme Lord. So if we don't do this, then we will waste our human life. Sanakam cha sanandam cha sanatanam atatmabhu sanat kumaram chamunin nishkriyan urdvareta saha. In the beginning, Brahma created 4 great sages named Sanak, Sananda, Sanatan and Sanat Kumar. Here is Sanandan. Typing mistakes. Sanandan. All of them were unwilling to adopt materialistic activities because they were highly elevated due to their semens flowing upwards. They were born from the mind of Brahma, and they were practicing celibacy. Semen is not going down and out, but up. So they are very intelligent, very powerful, and very conscious. So they did not want to enter these materialistic activities. Tan babhashe swabuh putran prajah srijata putraka tan naichan moksha dharmano vasudeva parayana. Brahma spoke to his sons after generating them. My dear sons, he said, now generate progeny. But due to their being attached to Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they aimed at liberation, and therefore they expressed their unwillingness. Here in the commentary, the four sons of Brahma, the Kumaras, declined to become family men even on the request of their great father Brahma. Those who are serious about gaining release from material bondage should not be entangled in the false relationship of family bondage. People may ask how the Kumaras could refuse the orders of Brahma, who was their father and above all the creator of the universe. The reply is that one who is Vasudeva Parayana, surrendered to Vasudeva, or seriously engaged in devotional service of the Personality of Godhead Vasudeva, need not care for any other obligation. It is enjoined in Bhagavatam. This is very important verse, a very famous verse. Devarshi bhutapta nrinam pitrinam nakin karonayam rini charajam sarvatmana yah sharanam sharanyam gato mukundam parihritya kartam. Anyone who has completely given up all worldly relationships and has taken absolute shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, who gives us salvation and who alone is fit to be taken shelter of, is no longer a debtor or servant of anyone, including the demigods, forefathers, sages, other living entities, relatives, and members of human society. Thus, there was nothing wrong in the acts of the Kumaras when they refused their great father's request that they become family men. We are all living entities. From our birth, we start to incur debt to demigods because they give sunshine, rain, air, fire, all these they are giving. So we are indebted. We are indebted to forefathers. They left us some property, some things, and some knowledge or something. We are indebted to them. Also, sages, they are giving knowledge to society. Other living entities, we are taking help. Relatives, they took care of us or are taking care. And members of human society, like all, we are indebted. And there are certain procedures how one can remove that debt, or out of gratefulness, what he should do. Like Brajabasis, they were worshipping Indra, that is there. And for Pitris, forefathers, there is that Shraddha, yearly Shraddha ceremony. They will be satisfied, and some other tarpan, that thing. And for other living entities, we have to do some pious good activities like this. So that will help. But if someone took absolute shelter of Supreme Lord, by serving him, he serves all automatically. Like watering at the root of tree, whole tree is nourished. Like giving food to stomach, whole body is nourished. Like that, one who will exclusively serve Krishna as per his desire, that is, under the guidance of pure devotee, then he need not do anything else. And he is not obliged to follow anyone. Even that verse is there in Bhagavatam. If some demigod or family member or husband, wife or children or anyone, guru, even guru, if they are obstructing devotion to Supreme Lord, you are not obliged to follow them. We have to give due respect to everyone, but not follow their order. Even Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Chaitanya Shikshamrita, he wrote, if some superior person gives us some wrong advice, then we should, in private place, with due respect, request him, please don't advise me or order me such things. It is not according to scriptures, and like this we should humbly request that they should desist from this. If still they will not, then we should not follow that, because then we will lose the service of Krishna. So here, to have this idea that I will make progeny for, like, to go on with this creation, like I heard from one lady in Calcutta. We were discussing something and I said the ultimate goal of life of every living entity is to get happiness. Everyone is trying for this. Then she said, no, I don't agree. Then I said, then what do you think is the common? Or then she said, every living entity wants to have a reproduction. That is, everyone is living for this, that they can continue this species. They will reproduce and that will continue, that is goal. And I was surprised to hear this. So if someone has such thinking, then he's in ignorance. So here, for Kumaras, they refused. No, we will not engage in this thing. We want liberation from this material world. Another thing is, because here it is, anyone who has completely given up worldly relationships. Then someone may ask, then why Ambarish Maharaj did not give up his wife? He did not give up worldly relationships. Then how he can be pure devotee? You said it is written there he's a pure devotee, but he did not give up his wife. Then something is wrong. No, worldly relationships means this in ignorance. She is my wife. These are my children and they are for me. This is worldly relation in ignorance. But if someone can perceive other living entities as servants of Krishna and is relating with them in that sense, then that is not worldly relationship. It is transcendental relationship. They are not enjoying each other, exploiting. They are cooperating for the service of Krishna. Prahlad Maharaj also, he explained so much to demon boys that about this materialistic family life, how that is very bad, and about itching the skin, sexual pleasure, all this, he is explaining to demon boys and also in prayers to Bhagavan, fully. But then, why he got married and has children, Prahlad Maharaj? That is of different type. Dhruva Maharaj also got darshan of Supreme Lord, had no any desire. But this, so they are different. Or like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, to create servants of Krishna, that is another thing. You will find also, so here it is written, Kumaras, they refused the advice of their father because they felt that is not for the satisfaction of Krishna. And another example our Gurudev was very fond of telling, son of Brahma, another son, Daksha, he accepted this. Brahma ordered him, you have to make progeny. So he accepted, and first he made 10,000 sons with his wife. And when they were little grown up, he told them, you also will have to do progeny, and for that reason you have to go to forest and do austerities to get grace of Supreme Lord, so that you can do this creation progeny, you will have children. They went to forest, and they were doing, and by his own desire, Narad Goswami came there, and he was a very big saint, and they are small boys. They bow down to him, and he asked them, who are you? Knowing fully well who they are, his only saint, Narad Goswami. Who are you? Why you are here in the forest? Then they said, we are sons of Daksha Prajapati. We came here to do austerities to get mercy of Supreme Lord, so we can procreate. And Narad said, what is the benefit in this? What benefit you will get? Then they said that we don't know. Then Narad said, you should hear me. And he started giving class. He said, living being in the womb will get so much suffering in the womb, and when coming out, threefold miseries from body, mind, from other living entities, and from natural catastrophes, and birth, suffering at birth, suffering at death. Why you want to create to give suffering to them? What you will benefit by this? They could not reply anything. They did not know. So Narad Goswami, and he told them, you are human being. You are you don't have only animality. You have rationality also. You should understand what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad, what is eternal, what is non-eternal. You are not a beast. You are human beings. This human birth is meant only for the worship of Supreme Lord, not for any other purpose. Why you want to do this? You should hear Harikatha from me. And Narad Goswami was speaking Harikatha every day, 2 or 3 times. Harikatha, hammering. Then after some time, Narad asked them, what you will do? What did you decide? They said, we will not enter family life. We will worship Supreme Lord. And they gave up all those plans and everything, and they worshipped Supreme Lord, remaining as brahmacharis, celibate. Then Daksha Prajapati was angry. Why this Narad Goswami came there to forest? He spoiled my sons. How creation will go on? But he was afraid to curse Narad Goswami because he's a great, famous celestial being. If I curse him, then some problem will come to our family. So somehow, with difficulty, he tolerated, and then he made another 1,000 sons. And again, after they were little grown up, then he told them, now you go to forest to do austerities, to get mercy of Supreme Lord, so that you can create. But one thing is there. If any sadhu will come there, you don't listen to him, because you are my sons. And the son's duty is only to obey the order of father. That is son's only duty. So you should not hear advice of anyone else. I am your father, I am giving you this order. If any sadhu comes, you can bow down to him. That is okay, but don't hear him, don't follow him. Because father's order is final. You have to serve your father. Then they went to forest, and Narad Goswami again came there. And he said, who are you? why you are here in forest? They said, our father sent us for procreation, to do austerity. What you will benefit from doing this? That we don't know. But our father said that this is father's order, so we have to obey our father's order. That is son's only duty, to serve father. Then Narad, he saw, then he said, okay, you are fathers of Daksha Prajapati. They said, yes. You are sons of Daksha Prajapati, he's your father. They said, yes. Then Narad said, then how you will serve your father? Who is your father's father? And who is his father's father? And who is his, and like this? Ultimately, who is the father, original father of all? It is Supreme Lord. Unless you worship him, how you can pay back your debt to your father? And he quoted this verse, Pitrinam, all living entities, debt. If you don't worship Supreme Lord, then how you will actually serve your father? You cannot actually serve your father unless you worship Supreme Lord. Then they say, we don't know these things. Then he said, you should listen to me. And then, because he's a great saint and they are small boys, and he gave logic. Yes, you have to serve your father, but how it's properly to serve him? So he said, you have to hear Harikatha 3 times daily. And he told, in mother's womb, child is there. Those parasites, they are biting him inside womb, is getting immense pain. You want to give this suffering to living entities? Why? What you will benefit? Our Gurudev gave example. Maybe we cannot imagine, but he gave one illustration. He said, if you take one healthy man, nice healthy body, and strong also, and you tie him on a tree around, and then you release some those red poisonous ants, they're biting. You release, and he cannot do anything, so they're biting. What kind of suffering he will get? He will want to die. He will prefer to die than to tolerate that pain. Similarly, that child in womb is getting such pain. And mother, if she's eating some spicy food or like this, that will increase also. So this is pain living entity gets in the womb. So much so that those who are pious, those who have Sukriti from past lives, those children in the womb, when they are 7 months inside, they will pray to Supreme Lord. Oh Supreme Lord, I don't want this. When I will be born, I will surely worship you. I don't want this material existence anymore. I don't want. And they get some distant darshan of Supreme Lord. So those who have Sukriti, they promise so much pain is there. And when dying, so much pain is there, all this. So Narad told, what you will benefit? You should, if really you want to serve your father, then you have to worship Supreme Lord. Then after 1 month, he asked them, what did you decide? They said, no, we will not enter family life. We will worship Supreme Lord. Then Daksha, Prajapati father, could not tolerate. Very angry, he became very angry, and he cursed Narad. That is one kind of lila for Narad. He cursed Narad. You cannot remain in one place for more than 2-3 days. Then how this creation will go on? He will make everyone ascetics. No one will want to procreate and like this. So he cannot remain in one place for more than 2-3 days. So it is very dangerous to associate with the real devotee, sadhu. That is why we don't want to invite sadhu. Why? Because sadhu will say this is all nothing. You are meant to worship Supreme Lord. But we don't want. So we prefer not to. Or if we invite, then only for 1 day or 2 day maximum, not more than that in a year. Because then we can, for 2-3 days or 1 day or 2 days, we will hear sadhus, will serve Supreme Lord, but the rest 362 days we will enjoy this world. So both we can have at the same time. Both. So Daksha Prajapati cursed Narad. You cannot remain in one place. Narad thought, yes, now I spread the glories of Supreme Lord in only few places. Now I'll have to always move. So in many places I will go and spread the glories of Supreme Lord. But in Dwaraka Dham, Narad Goswami was staying continuously. Then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur commentary, he asked, how is this possible? He already got curse from Daksha. Then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur himself gave reply, because Dwaraka Dham, although appearing in this world, is not material thing, it's transcendental, and there the laws of material world do not apply. Like if I commit some crime here in Slovenia, if they will catch me, they will put me to prison. But if I manage to run away to some other country, then these laws of Slovenia will not work there. They may only request that country, if you give him to us, if they will give consent, then it is possible, but not directly. Those laws of this country will not work there. So Dwaraka Dham, although appearing in this world, is not of this world, it's transcendental realm. So laws of this material world and the Daksha curse will not work there. Of course, no one can curse Narada. That is pastime, so that Narada will travel everywhere. But in Dwaraka, he's staying. So it is very dangerous to associate with real devotee. Then all this material worldly, all these things will be destroyed. It's very dangerous. You should not associate much, only for 1 day maximum or 2 days, not more than that. But Kumaras, they refused. No, we don't want this. We will worship Supreme Lord. We will get liberation from this worldly entanglement, only suffering. So we will serve him. Those who are pure household devotees, outwardly we may think they are worldly relationships and attachment like this, but that is not. That is different type. They are earning money for service of Krishna. They are serving members of family as servants of Krishna appropriately. There are such examples also, but they are very rare. This teaching we will get later in Bhagavatam. Ambarish Maharaj, he was king, had wife, children, everything. But he had proper vision. And Durvasa Rishi is sannyasi, a yogi, a jnani, everything. He thought he is a householder. a Kshatriya and he's fully attached and he does not know how to respect properly sadhu. So I have to give proper exemplary punishment so that no one else will follow his example. But he miscalculated. Who is Ambarish Maharaj? So ultimately, you know the story. He was running away for his life from Sudarshan and ultimately came to Supreme Lord. And Supreme Lord said, I cannot rescue you also. You committed offense to Ambarish Maharaj. You think he's a householder attached to one person, king. You're totally wrong. He gave up all these worldly things for my service. His vision is not, this is mine and for me. His vision is everything belongs to Supreme Lord. Everyone belongs to Supreme Lord. I belong to Supreme Lord. Everything is meant for him only and he's acting in that relationship. You miscalculated. So you committed great offense to my pure devotee. So you have to go there and you have to beg for forgiveness. So Durvasa came there. He's a sannyasi, but he bowed down to householder, king, Kshatriya. He's a Brahmin, Durvasa, but he bowed down. Why? Now he understood that what kind of devotee he is. Atma devoted to Krishna. Then he sang the glories of pure devotee everywhere, Durvasa. And it is stated by Prabhupada Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur that what kind of external appearance pure devotee will do, that is according to desire of Supreme Lord. Like Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, he had certain external appearance and activities, like totally renounced. On one side. Another side, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, outward appearance, like 13 children, great high job in government. How we can understand who is now pure devotee? No, both are pure devotees. But acting according to desire of Supreme Lord in different way in this world, but both are fully dedicated to Supreme Lord. We cannot understand from outside what is their vision and why they are acting in such way. There is one article one devotee gave me from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in English. He explained this, the contrast between Bhaktivinoda Thakur's life, external, and Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. So how we can understand this? It's a very nice explanation. So we cannot judge. Sadhu can recognize sadhu. So Krishna will reveal to us. But here the point was, Brahma ordered him for this materialistic creation. And Kumaras, they refused. And Daksha Prajapati also told to his own sons for that materialistic creation. And Nara told, no, that will not be good. But like Prahlad Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srivas Pandit, they are not ordinary family men. They are also pure devotees of Krishna. So, Vadyata Suter Evam Pratyakya Tanu Shasane Krodam Durvishaham Jatam Niyantum Upachakrame. On the refusal of the sons to obey the order of their father, there was much anger generated in the mind of Brahma, which he tried to control and not express. Here in commentary, just I wanted to say this point. Brahma is the director in charge of the mode of passion. of material nature. Therefore, it was natural for him to become angry on the refusal of his sons to obey his order. Rajoguna produces all these so many desires, one after another, no end to desires. So naturally, when there is some obstacle to get fulfillment of that desire, then anger comes. That is tamoguna. Surely it will come naturally. Either not getting respect, you become angry, furious, or not getting something, furious, totally angry, totally upset. Only pure devotees, they have no material desires. So there is no origination of this wrong anger in them. They may, as Narad Goswami, they may use anger, not come under the control of anger, but use anger for the benefit of other living entities, to chastise them, to rectify them. That is out of love, not out of frustration, selfish frustration. Although the Kumaras were right in such acts of refusal, Brahma, being absorbed in the mode of passion, could not check his passionate anger. He did not express it, however, because he knew that his sons were far enlightened in spiritual advancement, and thus he should not express his anger before them. This is proper also. Parents should not think, these are my children. We made them. We created them. That is totally wrong vision. The soul in this, your child, existed before already. And he has his own activities in previous life. That is why now he got certain karma, and that will work, whether you want or not. That is why you will find two children, same parents, same upbringing, same food, same instructions, everything same house, but they will become totally different. How that is possible? Because of their previous karma. So no one produced anyone. Atma is eternal. For the time being, we are saying he is my son, externally, bodily. But that will also vanish at death. Either you will die or he will die. So that relationship is anyway temporary. And it is illusory because you are soul and he is also soul, servant of Krishna. So here Brahma already understood that his sons, they are more advanced as souls. So not good to like that example. Raghunandan Thakur. Mahaprabhu asked Mukunda, his father, you are his father or he is your father? Then Mukunda, who is actually biological father, he said, no, he is my father. He is more advanced in devotion than me, so he is superior to me. And there are so many examples in Shastra. Also, that boy of Srivas told, I was fortunate to stay in the house of Srivas as his son, but now according to your desire I have to go. And Raghunath Das Goswami, yes, this I had in mind. They tried to bind him. Means they bound him by ropes and by guards and everything, but still he wanted to join Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then his father, Govardhan, he told to his wife, it will not work. His wife is as beautiful as heavenly lady. And he has so much money, so much opulence and so much comfort and everything. If this could not tie him down, then what mere ropes will do? Father cannot change the karma of his son, what he has from previous life. And he got, no one can change. And then he further said, because this is the reality here, he said he got the grace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what we can do? It is impossible to tie him. So his father also understood that no father can change the karma of son, and no father can stop awakened soul who got attraction for Supreme Lord, that he will not go there. He cannot stop. So this we have to understand. No one is our son. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in one song, he told, no one is ours as we think bodily. My mother, my father, my son, my wife, my husband, my children, all this is all mine. No one is ours, actually. They all belong to Supreme Lord as his eternal servants. All. He is the owner. He gives, he takes, according to his desire. Those who are devoted to Krishna, they will have no problem with this. But we, because we have selfish desires, we have problem. Only because of this, because of selfish desire. So there he wrote, for the time being it seems they are related to us as wife, as all this, but that is all non-eternal. All non-eternal, it will perish, it will vanish. And you see in past, these exalted personalities, means they were very rich, they had high position and everything. They made their life, the point of their life, sense gratification. But you see their life, whether they were happy or not, and ultimately they had to succumb to death. They had to admit their defeat with death. They did not want to die, but they had to die. So this is not proper way. Proper way is, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, oh my mind, you please give up all these non-eternal desires, take shelter of bona fide Guru, pure devotee of Krishna, and worship Krishna. Then you will get what you actually want. So we should, by the grace of pure devotees, we should come out from illusion. Otherwise we will waste this human life for gaining nothing, only suffering at the end, frustration. Dhiya nigrihyamanopi bruvor madhyat prajapate sadhyo jayata tan manu kumaro nila lohitaha. Although he tried, Brahma, to curb his anger, it came out from between his eyebrows. And a child of mixed blue and red was immediately generated. You know who is he? That is Shiva, Mahadev. Came out of anger. That is why he is controlling Tamoguna. And he is destroying everything. Also in this world, if someone is very angry and he does not express it, he suppresses it, then that will cause some disease in either in body like liver, or he will become mentally crazy or something. If there is too much suppressed either anger, certain problems will come, or crying, suppressed crying, sadness, or fear, or like this. That will cause some diseases, physical and mental diseases. And if you can release that, then also disease will be cured. But we have to apply that properly. That is the point. Not only generate due to false ego and then release it, but again we will generate because of false ego. All those things are generated. So when we give up all false egos and all false desires, then there is no more generation of these things. So no need of releasing like this. So here Brahma, you cannot actually suppress it. Means if you suppress it, that does not mean that it is gone. It will go somewhere. So if we suppress, then some problem will be there. But if we express wrongly, that will also be wrong. We have to use properly for the service of Krishna, then it will be okay. Savai Ruroda Devanam Purvajo Bhagavan Bhava Namani Kuru Medhata Stanani Cha Jagad Guru. After his birth, he began to cry, O destiny maker, teacher of the universe, kindly designate my name and place. Iti tasya vachah padmo Bhagavan paripalayan abhyadat badraya vacha ma rodis tat karomite. The all-powerful Brahma, who was born from the lotus flower, pacified the boy with gentle words, accepting his request and said, Do not cry, I shall certainly do as you desire. Yat arodih sura shreshta, so dvega iva balaka, tatastvam abhidasyanti, namna rudra iti praja. Thereafter Brahma said, O chief of the demigods, you shall be called by the name Rudra by all people because you have so anxiously cried. Hrit indriyani asur vyoma vayur agnir jalam mahi suryas chandras tapaschaiva stanani agre kritani te. My dear boy, I have already selected the following places for your residence: the heart, the senses, the air of life, prana, the sky, the air, the fire, the water, the earth, the sun, the moon, and austerity. Tomorrow we will hear further